All right, welcome back, Saints Nation, to Week 7 of the CR6. Tonight, the Saints have a matchup against Rockford University. And you know what? The Saints are on a hot streak after their last week domination. And your casting talent tonight will be myself, Colin Seymour Moore, and Daniel, the Saved One Man. Welcome back to R6. Daniel, how are you tonight?
Oh, I haven't casted R6 in a minute, but like my last stream for Saints Gaming was an R6 stream, so I don't know. I'm super pumped for this. How about you?
Oh, after watching the domination that we saw from Saints last week, I'm so excited. They're 1-0 in Phase 2. Cafes map 1 and the map 2 and map 3 are both maps that they played last week. So I'm excited to see this. Let's hop into this ban phase though, as Saints have the first ban.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of time just to analyze something real quick though. Is the last time they played on Cafe, they were super dominant on. It was a stream that me and you were casting on, but St. Clair looks so incredibly good as a team. And while we were actually in person, while we were actually analyzing this team earlier in the semester, they didn't look too good. Their synergy was all over the place. The roaming on the team just wasn't great whatsoever. But now they're really starting to come together as a team and really synergize better. But already the band's going back and forth. Thatcher as well as Monty over here on.
And from what I remember, the Saints are at least 4-0 in the past 2 weeks prior to this in CR6, and they won on Tuesday. So their streak continuing into CEA has just been nuts. We see the Thatcher gone, we see the Monty gone, and honestly, the pressure that the Monty can cause being out of this game, especially on Cafe where you can like use it to push into tight spaces. It's a big thing that you might see like Rockford, they don't want to give it to the Saints, so they're just going to ban away from that. You see the mirror follow up with that. That's going to give it a little bit harder of a time for the defenders to hold on to certain sites, especially that third floor. Getting rid of that mirror window when you're holding freezer, it adds a little bit more complication when you're on the defending side. So I'm really excited to see how these teams work with it. Although you do see mirror gone a lot, so I expect there to be strats in place for that.
Echo and Thatcher are normal. The ones that I always see switch up are the two in the middle, and those are usually target bans. The only problem is, I don't know. Like Rockford, I don't think they did their research too well because St. Clair doesn't play Monty, even if it is open, right? Maybe they played it once. Like maybe they played it once, as well as Mira. Mira is usually not played on Saints either. If you are hiding on third floor inside of washroom, you were talking about freezer, but you usually don't see a Mira from the Saints. What you usually do see is Rapid playing smoke, third floor inside of the washroom, and he will sit that corridor as well as Valkyrie. You'll also see the Maestro. So you're seeing a lot of these picks that are coming out from St. Clair that are very dominant. I don't know if this other team did their research.
It's a great analysis to be looking at how complicated this Rockford University team might have, or the complications they might have going into this matchup against St. Clair. But as we hop into game 1, round 1, the defense phase is starting, and all the defenders are going to be making their setup. St. Clair will be your team starting on defense. Rockford University will be the team on attack. So Daniel, why don't you introduce this Rockford team for us?
Yeah, exactly. Our observer doesn't have to press tab every single time we want to introduce a team now. They're all on the left and right side. So over on the blue side, we got St. Clair Saints. We have Rapid Impact, William, Agent Tour, as well as Imagine. And introduce to us Rockford.
Yeah, the Rockford University team, for all those hometown Saints fans that are coming here, the away team, Rockford University, will have Maniac, or Manic, Mystery, American, Pepper, and Worst. And I'm excited to see this comp run out because they have a Lion and a Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Two kind of interesting picks, in my opinion, for attacking Cafe, because you're missing a Habana that you could be running, and you're also, I can't remember the other, trying to think, maybe a Buck, but you could be running the Buck instead. But I don't know if you're paying attention to the patch notes coming out.
Yeah.
They kind of tweaked a couple of the characters in this game. I don't think the patch is fully out in the game just yet, but I'm excited to see what will come now that Dagger is a 2-2, 2 speed, 2 armor.
Yeah.
And Buck doesn't have his grenades.
Well, just to touch on this little shenanigan that just happened, what I wanted to say is that Blackbeard, you were touching on that actually a little bit, is that Blackbeard is really useful for these window type. And on a site like Cafe on 3rd floor, there's a lot of window action going on. So Blackbeard able to get the initial frag of the round, being traded out though by Imagine. Imagine was able to secure the kill onto Manic. Rapid was the unfortunate faller at the end of the day, but we do have a bunch of peaks coming through here. What's really nice about the St. Clair Saints is that they're not falling into these noobish strats, right? Imagine is holding the shield right inside of Pixel, or near Pixel, as well as he's watching a lot of these angles. He's not really peeking too much, all very safe as well. But Rockford, they got to do something kind of quick because there's a minute 30 on the clock and they haven't gotten into the building just yet.
They know over on the white staircase window that there is a player there, so Jaeger's gonna be playing very passive. In the break, in this kind of passive fire going on right now, there was a Mozzie drone picking up, but we gotta fight. Worst scenario, just runs in and guns Imagine. Imagine was having a little bit of pressure from behind, but worst scenario is really low on health. It brings it back into a 4-on-3. So Agent Tour, William, and Impact, the rookies of this team, they've shown themselves, they've proven themselves. So let's see how they clutch up in this round. 55 seconds left. Diffuser will be getting dropped, but it was canceled out. So Mystery hasn't dropped it just yet, and William was putting a few shots down. Now we see Maniac or Mystery going down. Agent 2 are getting a double kill onto Worst. Brings it back to a 2v3, back to a 1v3 as William picks up American. So it's all up to Pepper now as he rushes through towards construction, but is taken out by the player sitting in Frieza. It's going to be Impact. And St. Clair picks up round 1 on Cafe. It wasn't too worried about it because they're set up with the 3, like especially the Maestro just sitting there. I don't think he was spotted out just yet. And once they kind of canceled out the diffuser, I saw Rockford University getting really kind of antsy, if you want to say. They didn't really know where St. Clair was. They knew where Rapid was because they took him out. They knew where Imagine was. They took him out. Then the other 3, they were just kind of chilling. Rockford didn't know where they were.
No, that's I was just gonna say, I was gonna follow up your point with that exact thing, is that they just didn't really know what they were doing in that round. It took them a while to get into the building itself with no real intel, and the first thing that kind of happened that sparked a lot of I guess scurry was the rush onto Imagine. Imagine was sitting behind his shield over by Pixel, and he got rushed, and it was a little bit weird because they were both uncrouched for a very long time. They were both staring at each other, not being able to land their shots. And in a scenario like that, you can only attest that to, I guess, the coldness, when you're hopping into round 1, right? They're not really warmed up too much just yet. But on a new floor now, going to be on the first floor. They're both on kitchen. So this is kind of an interesting one, and I feel like this is why Rockford ended up banning out the Monty, was just for this floor. You can't really attack with Monty on the top floor, and obviously that's arguable, but it's not really too effective, right? Monty can't really scale a building too well, but on a first floor attack, he's definitely very good. When you do want to go through the front door, but not having that means that Rockford as well as St. Clair have to change up their kind of strats with no Monty. But I think this is all just kind of basic. Mystery Dude still playing the Lion. In the last round, it wasn't too effective. What do you think about it?
Well, no, the Lion, St. Clair was ready for that. They were ready. Yeah. They knew the Lion was there. Every time the CC1 went off, just everybody stood still. And there was no follow-up from Rockford to put some pressure on a St. Clair, so they had nothing to worry about it. But in this round, you see that Rockford's pulling out the Sledge, and they have a lot of soft breach on the Twitch, the Zofia, and the Sledge. I expect them to go for the top down, take that second floor control, and make sure that St. Clair feels the pressure from above, because honestly, I don't see a whole lot going for them if they want to push Bakery. That's usually what you would have a Monty to follow up with, and since he's not there. But, ooh, this is a nice little peek from Worst. Will he find the head of the Saints player sitting behind Bakery counter? It's going to be a little battle between William and Worst, but William not really giving him a whole lot to go for. It kind of peeks left, right. But he doesn't want to give him too much, because if William goes down there, it would open up the opportunity for Rockford to push through Bakery. He does have backup to the right of the entrance. I think that is Rapid sitting in there on the smoke, but William is just going to be keeping the pressure off in Bakery, and I really like how he's playing this.
Yeah, he's sitting very passively, and the one thing that he's doing, of course, he's baiting a lot of these flashbangs, but he's also keeping the attention of the enemy, right? He's staying in this location so that they're very focused on him, and so that he runs out the clock. Once again, it's still 1:30, and nobody, well, they're on the top floor, they're on the second floor, but they haven't made their way into Kitchen whatsoever. They need to start setting up for the actual invasion into Kitchen, and it could be a pick right now with a run out with the shotgun. 1, 2 goes down, but they're only down but not out, as so much damage goes back and forth. American is able to live, but you do see Imagine with the flank. Small Bakery just tries to get into this action. He's able to pick up one, I believe, but now 3v2 scenario. He wants to go for the run, and he's able to get him too. The double kill. Imagine secured this one as he does make his way back into the Kitchen itself. Now, 2v2 scenario going down with 40 seconds left. How exactly do they want to approach this? And their answer is the top down.
If St. Clair plays passively and they don't take these top-down fights, Rockford University loses this round. Diffuser's down. That was an important kill that Imagine got, because Diffuser's now down. I don't know if he noticed that, but he backs up over towards the staircase, gets fragged on the Peeker's advantage. Pepper gonna take him out. So now 2v1, and Rockford University, they just go for the frag heavy push, not even worrying about the Diffuser. Just 1-2, Imagine goes down, and pick up the second player, the Valkyrie, and it's a tie game. It's 1-1. If St. Clair played it passive there, though, they had Diffuser down. Rockford had to go to them. I don't really agree with Imagine taking the fight to Rockford, because they had the advantage.
Yeah, he was the one on stairs that died, right? He was on red stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a weird scenario that he was in, because I don't think he was expecting 2. I think he might have been expecting 1. But you always gotta think about that scenario, right? What if there is 2 inside of train, pushing these red stairs? So he might have to, I guess, think about his scenario a little bit more. He could have probably held a better corner, because he was so out in the open, even on top of stairs. When you're only hiding behind a railing, your head is fully exposed. All the enemy has to do is just click on your head, and you're done. You didn't really have any strafing potential there. But yeah, kitchen service and cooking didn't really go too well for the Saints, even though they got a couple of early picks. Imagine with a run out, got a double kill. It was all really good, but they got to play it a little bit more cleanly if they really want to succeed on this point.
Exactly. Good point to put down. So now we head back into round 3, back to Bakery, or to Kitchen, to the Kitchen hold. And honestly, there's no changes on the St. Clair side, so maybe they're even thinking that's a fluke. They can change up a few things. Maybe they want to keep William on that Bakery, but just be a little bit more passive with your peaks. As soon as Rockford kind of peeked around and William had his full attention on the Thermite of Worst, there's just that backup from, I'm pretty sure it was Mystery came in. And then when William peeked for Worst, it was Mystery there to pick up the kill, to open it up for Rockford and put a lot of pressure onto St. Clair because of that opening pick. So if you're the defending team, especially on Bakery, it's really a situation that you don't want to go in being first player down, because of how wide of a spread your defense has to be for this hold. So I do want to see William play a little bit more passive than he did, not peek as much on that player. But yeah, we head back to the first floor, and you already see Rockford University setting up for a similar push, with the sledge going up to the 3rd floor all the way to the roof and starting his roam down to clear each floor. I really like how Rockford's setting up for this, and I like how they're taking this approach to the 1st floor bomb site. I think a lot of teams can learn from this.
Right now, William doing the exact same thing. Even though you want to see something a little bit different, maybe a little bit more passive, not peek as much, he's still playing behind the actual Bakery counter, hasn't moved just yet. He's kind of in a tight scenario for himself as well, because he has to move at some point, or maybe he doesn't. The opponents could just push him at the end of the day, as he's just, right now he's hiding. He is not peeking whatsoever. Before he was playing games with his opponents, right? Monkey in the corner. But right now, just staying there, just try and stay alive is the name of the game for William.
We do see the first Lion call getting burnt on the side of Rockford. Nothing going in their favor with attention. And then the Twitch drones also burn. That's a little bit questionable if you're Rockford University using the Twitch drone to scout out the player instead of using it to destroy utility. But however they want to play it is up to them. They're going to burn the ADSs with their flashbangs. So the last one going to come in and flash them. So, they actually flashed their own teammates. So if William pokes up here, he can spot a few. Maniac going to take out Rapid with the frag. A nice little bank off the wall. William going for the peek. He gets rushed from the side. Nice little pinch coming from Rockford. 2-man advantage for Rockford University as they're in a 3-on-5. Worst, there's a little bit of damage going on to them, but now the sledge is set up on the second floor. You see him breaking along the roof, getting a lot of sight lines down. Impact staying passively onto the B bomb site, and the grenade gonna put some damage onto Agent, but he's gonna peek in, not connect with any shots, but he puts some pressure down. Mystery gonna be planting the diffuser. It's gonna go down in 3 seconds. Nobody gonna pressure it to make sure it's canceled. Diffuser going down.
Wow.
Mystery taking a little bit of damage, but not going fully down. Agent gonna go down to Maniac. Double kill for himself. 2v5. Imagine set up for the kill onto Pepper. He's gonna bring it back. 2v4. He's going for the flank into Small Bakery. He spots the head of a player. Gonna take an American. Impact going down, though. That's not good. Imagine finds a triple kill now. It's all up to him for the 1v5. 2 players left. And he sets up into Baker. There is a player to his right. I think he has the idea for that. Knows the diffuser is in front of him. And he's going to push now into where Rapid sits. But there's Rockford University. Going to pick up their second round. Imagine bringing it close with that 1v3. Or bringing it back with the 1v5 into a 2v1. But not able to secure the win. That honestly, I think just Rockford University, the way they played that was just phenomenal.
Yeah, of course. When you're watching a perspective from ours, you know, we see the members through the wall, and very easily we can say, "Hey, check your corner." When you're actually in the scenario, though, all you know, at least in Imagine's case, when he sees the diffuser right in front of him, is that there could be one inside of prep. That's about it, right? Where's the last guy? Who knows? He could be behind some of the counters. He could be inside of service. He could be right above him. Right? So you can't really blame Imagine in that case. Still got a triple kill at the end of the day, but like you just said, this team is playing so incredibly well. They're setting up their initial positions really well. They know exactly where to drone out. They're getting all of the picks that they need to. And then they finally get the diffuser down and the post-plant positions come out. Sledge on the second floor, having that top-down view was so nice. Having the player inside of prep, inside of bakery, you're having all these positions covered.
Honestly, the big takeaway for Rockford University that I saw is they weren't panicking.
Yeah.
Unlike the first round, they just seemed super composed, and you really like to see the way they were set up. But now, you know, 3 rounds have gone by. We're heading back to the 3rd floor. This is where Saints originally took the opening rounds, and this is where they have to look to tie it up. Because going down 3-1, it's not the biggest advantage, but it's a lot of momentum going in favor of Rockford. You don't want to go down right now if you're St. Clair, because Rockford will take. It just seems like they're bringing it back, and they feel more warmed up than they were in round 1.
If St. Clair can win 2 more rounds and then go into their attacking phase like that, could be really good. Imagine doing Imagine type things. I can only imagine. Well, how many puns can you use here? You can use something.
I mean, you weren't here for last week, but you just have to imagine how many spawn peaks he got last week. I think there were 4 in one map that he got last week.
Okay. We'll maybe we can imagine that he'll get a couple more. But as we now get into this round itself, the one thing I want to bring up is that this 3rd floor hold is almost kind of like a dub within itself. It's a win within itself because it's such an easy hold if you know how to play the map. If you can't win on 3rd floor, then how exactly are you going to win on service, on kitchen? How are you going to win on train? Right? You have to think about all of these little scenarios. So if St. Clair can win on this hold once again, then it could be really, really good. But there you go. Imagine double kill. Easy.
It's just that takeaway that, you know, it's third floor is just that known map, that known site on this map that you need to know. But imagine playing this Pixel with Rapid as his backup. They almost play this perfectly. Imagine takes a little bit of damage, so he's very low. You're gonna see the Zofia burn some of the lifeline to take out that shield, making sure that Imagine can't set back up over onto Pixel. But now St. Clair's setting up for the flank, and I really like that they're gonna put some pressure on the back line of Rockford University. Lion Call #2 comes out, so they're only down to 1. Rapid's still playing very passive inside bathrooms, hasn't shown his colors just yet. And Rockford University just sitting over towards Piano inside Christmas is a lot of kind of passiveness over on them that we saw over in round 1. Imagine, triple kill. He's just following up from last round. He's doing what he does best. Rapid finally peeks in bathrooms, not going to find any damage, but gets a lot of information. You know, both players are now over in Christmas room. The lifeline, the concussions are going to be used. Concussions his own teammate. Now we see Mystery going to be pushing in. He's going to be pressuring Rapid. Rapid putting some shots down, but that's a kill coming from Freezer on impact. 1v5 and St. Clair. They look like they're dominant on the third floor. Like they just know what they're doing. Imagine on the flank finally gets picked off from Pepper. Pepper finds Rapid, brings it back to a 3v1, but there's the follow-up from Saints. As William takes him down and ties it up 2-2 for St. Clair on this third floor. They look just solid on that third floor hold.
Would have been very scary if the Saints weren't able to clutch this one up, or at least secure the round, as they were in a 5v1 scenario. Sometimes it happens, though, as now it's 2-2 at the end of round number 4. Round number 5 coming up. But also, I love always reading chat just to see what these players are saying back and forth. But now they're going back on kitchen, service, and cooking. They struggled 2 times in a row on it. They had the right defending idea. But do you think anything should have changed? Like Williams' positioning inside a bakery. Do you think that's effective?
I think they need a roamer.
Yeah.
I think they need a roamer because once that sledge is setting up on that second floor, it's just there's so much advantage to the attacking team. Because there's so much that St. Clair has to watch. They have to pay attention to not only the players pushing through bakery, but the sledge that's sitting above you, just lurking on you. So I think if I was St. Clair, I would set up a roamer of some sort because they're putting a lot of pressure onto the front bakery. But as soon as Rapid is taken out and William is pressured, St. Clair just fall apart because of that top-down push.
It's either banter or trash talk that's coming through in the chat, and I love it. Seeing Imagine versus this whole entire Rockford University team. But definitely amazing points that you brought up. We'll see if the Saints can adapt and maybe try and win finally here on Kitchen, because they just don't want to go anywhere else, right? Anywhere on the second floor is just a no-go zone, because then you're kind of pinching yourself. I don't know what the word is, but yeah, again, at that point, you're staying in the middle of the map. So, sure, it's better to stay on one side or the other.
You know, it's a sight to see.
Yeah.
It's round 5. Imagine's 9-4, and Rapid is 0-4.
Yeah.
But you like to see the rookies stepping up in this. I love seeing Agent William and Impact showing up on these maps because they're bringing a lot to St. Clair. So you like to see it. Now on the attacking phase, it looks like it's the basic setup. You can see the sledge already on the roof, and you can see the setup in front of bakery. This is what I was calling for. Imagine's on the second floor, and so St. Clair does have a roamer. This is going to add a little bit more pressure to the sledge and the Lion for their top-down push. And I want to see Imagine create that pressure and make it a little bit harder for Rockford to get inside.
I like how they're also pulling out the Dokkaebi, Rockford. They're kind of switching up their attack a little bit with all these little niche picks. We saw the Blackbeard in round number 1. We're seeing the Dokkaebi here in round number 5. So it already kind of spots out some intel. You see William behind this bakery bench as well, or this bakery stand. It's definitely really good. It points out a lot of intel. It wastes a lot of flashbangs. Gotta watch out to see if he's gonna survive this one. But you're talking about roamers, and we're already seeing it one right here. Imagine sitting inside of Cocktail. Isn't able to find anyone just yet, as there is one person looking down Skylight as well. One ended up dropping red stairs. and is making his way into Christmas. Say that?
I think Rockford's ready for this too.
Me too.
I think they have an idea that St. Clair set up a roamer.
Oh yeah.
Because already this passive angles from American, they're just checking this a lot more kind of clear than they did last time. But now American, he's gonna be the first player. The player drops through skylights. That's gonna be a double kill from Imagine, but he's traded off by Pepper. Pepper bringing it back into a 3v4. William gets pushed by Worse. He's gonna go down. Rapid following it up with his shotgun, finding his opening kill for the game. Pulls it into a 3v2. Rapid having a little bit more pressure from the Dokkaebi, but the Dokkaebi being a little bit too noisy as he's gonna rustle in the barbed wire. But Rapid, he's playing as passive as ever. He's just lurking in that corner with his shotgun.
Might want to go for a run out, as he has done before. It wasn't very successful though, so he might just want to stay inside of prep. But now, with 20 seconds remaining, could go for something kind of crazy. There you go. Headshot goes down. Amazing angle. That impact ended up running out there. But now it's Mystery versus the world as he heads right into bar. Could try and go for something here as he wants to try and run in. Does have a barbed wire as well as Agent Tour sitting in the corner. Straight shot down onto Mystery as he does go down.
You can see all the difference from St. Clair's setup as soon as they set up a roamer. As soon as they put a little bit pressure on the sledge and anybody moving from that top-down angle, just St. Clair's pressure onto Rockford University countered their push so well. As the 2 rounds that Rockford got on the bakery, it seemed like they never happened.
Yeah, it was definitely a clean hold that came through for St. Clair, and I feel like that was all really attested to the roaming on that top floor. All of the correct angles. If you can peak all of the correct angles on a top floor hold on Cafe while there's 3 members rushing you and get 2 kills for yourself, that's definitely worth it, I feel like, in my book. But now they're heading on to second floor Reading Fireplace, which is just the third best hold to have here on Cafe. If you can win this one and go into your attacking phase 4-2, that just feels so good for yourselves.
Even just putting yourselves at 4-2 for the attacking phase would feel good because, Cafe isn't like the most favored map to attack on.
Yeah,
but if St. Clair can find this win onto Reading Room, I see they've changed up a few operators, bringing out the Legion and the Vigil. I think if they can pull out this win, they could definitely take an advantage into this whole game. We do see on the side of Rockford, however, they pull out Hibana, Buck, and Fuse. It's a little bit questionable for me running this Fuse, so I'm curious to see how they run it. And there's a lot of players for St. Clair setting up on that 3rd floor, kind of putting up their defenses, not just on the 2nd floor. So I really like this split push. I expect 4 people onto the 3rd floor for St. Clair and 1 person anchoring the points. So I want to see how they play this, and I want to see how that Fuse just pulls it apart if they can.
It's also a weird switch coming through for St. Clair as they've switched up some of their comp. The Rapid now going on to Jaeger. We have Impact going on to Legion. Impact has played Legion multiple times in previous weeks. But still, some more. Oh, that's not what you want to see right off the bat. American headshotting Imagine. Yeah, Imagine was trying to go for a spawn peek, but didn't see the player to his right-hand side. I was going to say that Imagine is playing Vigil, but didn't really help him out in that scenario. But still, 4v5 situation going through for Rockford. So, and I do agree, the Fuse in this round is almost kind of like a noob killer. I get killed by fuses a lot if I'm hiding in corners and stuff, and sometimes you do that when you're on a 2nd floor hold.
And I really like Rockford's pick onto Imagine there. Imagine he did get a spawn peek earlier in this game, so Rockford already learning from some mistakes, and they're changing it up right away, making sure they pay attention right off the rip. So now we do see 3 people, possibly 4, in the X-ray on the roof for Rockford University. So it seems like they're going for a really favored or a top floor heavy push to clear this, and I like to see that. We do have William set up in the cocktail balcony, and there's going to be a player to his right. He's ready for a push, and that shot may have notified for him for the push. Line going to use one of his line calls, but it's not going to find any pings just yet. William finding the opening pick onto Rockford, making it 4-on-4. Oh, Pixel peek through the wall is going to spot out another enemy, but he's not going to put any damage down. I like how passive William is. He's going to kind of double, though. This is what you like to see from the roam presence of St. Clair. Just delaying the push. He noticed that a player dropped from Skylight, so he's going to play it even more passively. William ends up going down to the Lion. Impact there to get the trades, though. We do see St. Clair on this 4th floor, pulling off Mystery as well. Rapid chiming in for a kill of himself. 1 minute left, and St. Clair's up 3-1 after getting killed off the spawn peak. Manic using one of his fuse grenade charge on the site, but he's not going to connect it with anything. So using that, it's a very noisy gadget. St. Clair is definitely going to know where he is. You see a little bit of damage going towards him through the ground, but not going to take him out just yet. Rapid with the angle, and he finds the kill onto main. St. Clair 4-2 going on to attack on Cafe. If I was them, I would be feeling good.
Big smiles on everyone's faces on St. Clair as they're. You can just imagine what the comms sound like as they're all very excited. This is where the real challenge comes in, is transferring your momentum from defense to attack can be very hard sometimes. We have seen St. Clair sometimes struggle with it, but on other times, they've really just been so good with the transition. So we got to watch out for that. In the round itself, they didn't even play on the 2nd floor. I totally forgot that they had the bombs on the 2nd floor because we had 3 roamers at one point on the 3rd floor just trying to pincer the enemies that were trying to come in.
I already like the defensive setup I see from Rockford. It's one of my favorite setups to see. Goyo, Mozzie, Mute on 3rd floor cocktail lounge. I love that setup because if they can set up the Mute over into the bathrooms, it can get a lot of radius inside around the bomb sites, as well as the Mozzie Mute combo. Catching drones, it's like free drone day for the Mozzie, and it's his favorite thing to have. You know, when he can just get a drone for free, and especially setting up if they can set up that Goyo instead of the Jaeger onto Pixel, it can do a lot of damage. You already see them going for that setup as well, so I like to see it.
The other thing that we have to think about is how many picks is Imagine going to get before he actually enters into the site itself. Is he gonna be able to get any picks, or is he just gonna fall because he tries to go for a 50-50 type of peek? And what I'm thinking of is Skylight, as he usually loves to just peek into it and do some shenanigans, as well as peek through some windows. So I don't know, how many picks is Imagine gonna get before he enters?
I'm curious as to how William's gonna do on this Nomad, because last week he popped off on Nomad. I know you didn't get to see it, but he was having a field day with this Nomad operator. Yeah. So he's been doing his practicing as well. So I'm curious to see how St. Clair will take this 3rd floor, because you were saying also when St. Clair was defending it that when you defend 3rd floor, it's almost like a free win.
It is,
and it's a really hard floor to kind of attack on. So, but St. Clair, they're really known for their kind of pinpoint precision take on red staircase, as they usually do it very well. So I'm curious to see if they will do it again against this Rockford team as they set up right now for their initial push.
A lot of scattering coming from Rockford here, at least inside of Freezer, because there's one player inside of here. Of course, he's actually holding inside of the freezer itself, but before he was running all over the place, didn't really know where he wanted to set up, but now he finally found his kind of spot. But it's all about the picks. How many picks are you going to get before you enter the building? And once you get into the building, what exactly do you do if you don't have any picks? But a really nice hold is coming through right here as American is looking into the red entrance, the red hatch entrance. One actually ends up falling through, as now he has to back off. He was probably scouted out, but it's just gonna be Nomad underneath heaven.
That information though that American just got, he saw both of the players drop into red.
Yeah.
So now Pepper almost going down with a few shots from heaven, but not gonna go down. He's taken down to just over 50% of his health. And staying alive is very good to see. The Goyo has to be very careful because the first flash gets burned on the ADS, the second one coming in, and if they can get a grenade onto this, he already backed up, so that's really good, because once that's destroyed, just leaves a pool of fire, and a lot of Goyos get caught out by that. But American now on the flank on red staircase hasn't been caught out just yet, So this flank could be interesting indeed from American. We see William taking a lot of damage, but not going down, staying alive. The Mozzie rotating around, making sure he has the drone control, getting a lot of information. First pick goes over to Impact onto American. Now we see Worst rotating around Construction, getting into Cocktail, backing up his teammate into Balcony. St. Clair with the drone, or the diffuser going down. Mozzie hasn't spotted it out just yet. Diffuser planted by St. Clair. They have full 5-on-4 on third floor. With diffuser down, St. Clair finding another pick. Impact with a double kill onto Manic. And St. Clair just backing up. Pepper down, but not out almost. Impact finding a triple kill. Impact going absolutely insane. No. William finding a pick onto Worst. I thought Impact got that fourth one, but Pepper, no health left on him. Goes down. St. Clair with another flawless round on third floor.
This is a different team, man. This is a different team. They have come together in this offseason in air quotes, and I don't know what changed. Maybe the coaching style, maybe they're all just getting a little bit more humble as a squad and really working together. But they took that top floor so graciously, and they just took their time with it. It wasn't until 30 seconds till something happened, and then Impact was able to step up. This really reminds me of old Saints gaming, where if one member is just not doing well where he usually does well, then the other members of the team will step up, right? I don't know what Rapid's score is right now, but earlier in the game, he wasn't doing too well. But that's when Imagine, as well as William, was finally stepping up. Rapid just sitting 3 and 4. The rest of the team, they've got kills all across the board, right? So I don't know. It's a different team, and they're really coming together. The synergy looks so good.
I'm going to give you a little bit of a statistic here. In the past 5 games that I've casted for St. Clair, they've only dropped 9 rounds.
Yeah. Wow.
They've won both weeks in a row, going 4-0, and now they're up 5-2. They've only dropped 9 rounds, including this game so far. And that's absolutely insane for the CR6 numbers. They're 13th in their league, and they're really showing up where a lot of people doubted them with the kind of squad they put together compared to last season.
I doubted them.
I doubted them. I'm not gonna lie, but they absolutely impressed me.
Yeah, me too.
And now St. Clair they're just setting up with their normal operator setup that they're used to. Rockford University is running a cap kit.
That's exactly what I was going to say, is that it feels like Rockford pull out all of the strangest picks whenever the time has called for it, and definitely one of those picks right now is Captain. Just going to be placing his trap wire type abilities all over these door frames. Is it going to catch anyone? Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. At least in silver, in copper it does. In my ELO it does. But in platinum, I don't know. Oh, that's the initial frag. That was huge. Rapid turns around because he hears a little bit of foot movement behind him, and he gets it. He secures the kill. Oh wait, no, that was my bad. Rapid gets taken out. That's my bad.
Yeah, Rapid just getting finessed a little bit by the Vigil. And the Vigil are going to take out the drone too, so they know he's up there. They know he's in around Piano, but they're not 100% on where he is. He's going to get out with his life. Smart play from American. Rockford University going on hold on to this 5-on-4 that they have. But I'm really curious at where this first floor attacking team went. That looked like they were absolutely flawless. Because Rockford kind of toned down after St. Clair put, I guess, learned how they were playing. You do see the follow-up onto American coming from Imagine. Imagine is now sitting a little bit higher on the leaderboards with his KD. And Manic, he's going to set himself up with the Bandit over onto the white staircase. I'm pretty sure he was sitting. Actually, he was sitting over on red. He's rotating around red. But this is what, yeah, this is where I like to see St. Clair setting up for this top-down push. Is if they take train room, that's a lot of pressure that Rockford has to deal with. But there's a minute left. St. Clair has a lot of territory to take over. And so they, you know, I'm one to, you know, we see it a lot that St. Clair is a team that really likes to leave it to the very last second.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see that bite them, so I want to see them kind of put the wheels on.
Yeah, definitely a C4 going to be going out. Doesn't get anybody, as William does get a headshot onto Manic. It was all of the setup that happened within the first, a minute 30, but finally is the execution of all the setup that finally needs to come through here on Kitchen. So they've made their way onto the second floor as well as the first floor too, as Capcan does grab one more for his troubles. 3v3 situation going down now as 18 seconds hits the clock. They're just waiting for all of the hatches to finally be executed on. Imagine on the buck has to check his corner absolutely perfectly into Closet, and he does it. Imagine with the double kill, getting onto the site as well. They have to get the diffuser down as well as get the kills. 2v2 now going through. Diffuser's gonna be down itself as he is prone. Impacts down. Rockford have stalled out their opponents long enough. Unfortunate. Saints were not able to get that one for themselves.
And that's what I was talking about. They leave it to the last second, and it comes back to bite them. Pepper went absolutely huge, getting the kill onto the diffuser, not only on the diffuser, but on the other player that was entering with him. St. Clair that's just, I think, if St. Clair tightened up their attack instead of leaving it to the very last second, I think St. Clair would just be an absolute titan of a team to deal with, because I mean, their clear from top down was perfect, but as soon as they got control of the second floor, it's almost like they froze.
Yeah, I don't know. Of course, they left it till the last second, and I feel like they do that just so that they can put the pressure, like at least like the emotional pressure on the opponents. Because I know if I was in the defending phase, I'd be just terrified. But that's the difference between me and the collegiate player, is that they're able to keep their cool when the situation does come about. The only other thing I saw as a mistake from St. Clair is that it seemed like they all came from the same area. All three members of St. Clair stacked up inside of Red Hallway and shoved into Kitchen service, and it wasn't the best situation to be in, right? Maybe you want to be a little bit more scattered out and then get more intel just like that, but in St. Clair's case, 30 seconds left, you just got to go.
And that's where you don't want to get caught out with the time being low. So, so now St. Clair's going to be attacking the third floor once again. And they, like in my own words, they dominated the third floor last time they attacked it. As we do talk about it, it's a little bit harder of a floor to attack, so I'm curious to see how Rockford University changed up a few things. They now have a Legion, a Capcan, and a Vigil on the third floor. We doubted the Capcan, but he did get an opening pick kind of on that first floor hold, but curious to see how he manages on this third floor, as we do see a few roamers of Rockford set up on the second and first floor. It is an interesting one indeed, because usually you don't see people roaming when there's a third floor hold.
There's also the counterpoint to the third floor of Cafe, where of course it's very easy to take, but it's also very easy to telegraph where opponents are coming from. And you can say that on both sides, right? It sounds like I'm a little bit biased because obviously St. Clair, but it's true, is that on both sides, when you're defending it, it's very easy to defend it because you know exactly where the opponents are coming from. When you're attacking it, same thing could happen, is that you know what to expect, what corners to peek, what things to open. And I feel like St. Clair, they had it secured back a couple of rounds ago. In this one in particular, we're going to have to see if that happens.
Yes, indeed, because attacking phase is just about to be underway, as they're just prepping a little bit more. They do have Cigar Lounge wall open for the red stairs. Pepper taking a little bit of damage, but he is going to stay alive. He was getting shot from behind on Piano. That's Rapid set up with the Zofia, as he has perfect sight lines into there. St. Clair with the nice pinch. This has to be Pepper's probably worst area to stand on. He's going to push into Red Room and get dominated by 3 people watching that single area. Agent 2 are going to pick up the kill and put St. Clair at the advantage. We do start to see a few players of Rockford University start bringing their defense a little bit tighter. Mystery sitting over on this cocktail balcony. He does have a sight over towards Heaven. Not going to find anything. Just a little bit of damage, no picks. And both of the roamers for Rockford University now returning as they rotate through Red Staircase. Worst on the Maestro, sitting into Freezer. Is going to be looking at this angle for St. Clair to push him with the diffuser. St. Clair did find another pick onto Manic, so their advantage is a 5-on-3 now. if I'm Rockford University, I'm panicking a little bit because the only player you have to defend is a Capcan and a Maestro. You have to see what this Vigil has going on for him with the flank, but he hasn't really shown anything. Rockford University does spot out the diffuser getting planted by Agent. So now Maestro is going to push in. Capcan's going to burn a C4. Connects with the kill onto Agent. Imagine pushing in Mystery, finding a double kill over onto Rapid. So putting him back into a 3v2.
We gotta go.
Diffuser is picked up. 2 seconds left. St. Clair runs in. They get a double kill and they take the round, putting them onto map point. 6-3 for St. Clair.
It was last couple of seconds. Once again, they played that type of game where they lay down the pressure very late into the round, and it really, really works because it forces the enemy to play passive, right? When you're, with 1 minute remaining, you can play a little bit aggressive if you're defending. But when there's like a couple of seconds left, the only thing on your mind is stay alive and you win. When you're in that case, you have to play defensive, and you saw it right there inside of Freezer, where that player had to back up into the corner. I think it was the Capcan, even though he was on very low HP. Still had to back up at the end of the day. But St. Clair, they played that just so incredibly perfectly, which results in their match point. So if they can do the exact same thing, get the same amount of picks. And it all started with Agent Tour dropping into red and backing up, opening up the Christmas from getting the pick was so good.
Just the amount of pressure that St. Clair is putting onto the attack for third floor, I think it just puts some panic onto Rockford. You saw it even on defense. Rockford was panicking.
Yeah.
And now on attack for St. Clair, Rockford is still panicking for that third floor hold. But now we're heading over to the second floor reading room, fireplace hold. And I want to see how Rockford kind of pulls together. Now they bring a castle into the setup along with the Capcan, so maybe it's just a little bit more delay on the attack from St. Clair, but with 6 seconds left and the amount of information that IQ can get onto the Capcans, I don't see it slowing down St. Clair. And it's all up to really the frag presence that some of these operators for Rockford can bring. I'm pretty sure I did see somebody set up for a spawn peak, they just weren't committed to it.
Yeah, when you're 6-3, it's match point. Every single life matters, right? So you got to watch out for that. What's surprising is once again, you said it in the last round, but the Capcan is doing work. Like he's getting a couple of kills.
Yeah.
Right? So that's definitely something to note is that Rockford is put in the situation where they have to play these weird operators. They can definitely do so. And we've seen it out of Manic. We've seen it out of Mystery. So the double M. They know exactly how to play these weird operators.
The Russian operator put it in work for Rockford University, but it's not enough against the St. Clair attack, as they did find a win on the defense of the first floor, but it's time for Rockford University to find a win outside of the first floor, because it's the only place they've been able to find a win in this game. St. Clair looking for the map 1 win. Rockford University is trying to find salvation in this cafe matchup. But now the attack phase is just droning out and getting information. It's a lot of information going towards St. Clair. We do see the first pick on the Vigil American gonna go down. Agent opening up once again, but Manic with the refrag onto Imagine. He's gonna pull it back 4-on-4. And worst is actually very low on that Maestro. It's a dangerous situation to be if you're Rockford University, but St. Clair feeling really good right now.
Yeah, worst actually ended up going down but not out, and then didn't get fully eliminated. So something happened earlier in the round where Maestro got taken low. What exactly happened, I'm not too sure. But we are now seeing a third floor kind of hole come through. 1v1 situation. Rockford ends up winning it. Who was that? That was Manic once again on to Rapid.
With the UMP, the worst gun of the game.
Worst gun in the game. But
he does pull out with a kill. He pulls out with a double kill.
There you go. Triple kill for himself.
Triple kill for his team. William gonna end up getting the pick on back, pulling it into 2v3, and it's William and Agent against 3 brutes that have been pulling some kills for Rockford University. They do have diffuser in hand on the thermite, but it's a long way to go with only 20 seconds left. Now we do see William drop down on that Nomad onto the second floor. with some sight lines onto the train room, but nobody peeking him, nobody giving him an advantage. The closest is the captain sitting inside of generators. We do see a peek from William, taken off the head of the Legion, but Mystery dropping diffuser. 3 seconds left. Legion goo mine did get burned, and they know where he is. Rockford University going to find their 4th round and stay alive in this matchup on Cafe. Wow.
Had to take the needle out of his leg, and that's what kind of stalled him at the end of the day. Could have gotten 1 kill. I don't know where that other operator was or where that other player was, but what we do know is that William definitely popped off in that round. Gotta close it out though. St. Clair at the end of this round, they have to come together as a team and start sieging a little bit better.
One thing to look forward to if you're Rockford University is you're going back to the first floor. You're 3-1 on this first floor. St. Clair, though, they have won around here, and without a doubt, they have the potential to do it again. We just have to see their attack kind of pull together, and they would have won. Last time they were attacking the first floor, they just left it to about 15 seconds to attack the room. They funneled in through the same area, and it was Pepper who just downed everybody, dropped a diffuser, clutched up for their team, and it all came down to time for St. Clair. So I really want to see them speed up their attack a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's positives and negatives to both type of playstyles. When you're playing the type of playstyle where you're using all of the time on the clock and you leave yourself with a little bit, the positive is that you force the enemy to freak out. The negative is that you only have 30 seconds. So you have to act really, really fast when you're in that situation. And sometimes it really messes up St. Clair. In other situations, it's really helped them in a lot of ways. But we'll have to see if they end up switching that type of play style. Because I feel like mid-game, when you're in this type of play style, you can't really switch up your play style late into the match where it's been working for 6 rounds. Or not all 6. It's been working for your couple of attacking rounds, your 2 attacking rounds that you've won. If it can work for 1 more, then that's great. You got the dub.
Now St. Clair on the 3rd floor. They're going to be taking control of this. There is a player. He spots the gun. Is he going to get the kill? Imagine finding Manic and taking him out. That's a huge kill. The top fragger of Rockford University is out of play right now. There is another roamer, though, they have to find, and it's going to be the Vigil. The Vigil shoots at the drone. The drone's actually going to stay alive, too.
Wow.
So they know the Vigil's there. They got the information. The Vigil did back out. He's heading back towards Pixel, but who's at Pixel? It's Rapid, and Rapid finds the second pick for them, bringing them up to a 5-on-3. So this is just insane for St. Clair, and they're once again destroying the road presence of Rockford University, attacking the first floor. Now it's time for them to spread out and collapse onto this defense that Rockford has on the first floor.
I don't think Rockford is staying in the best situation right now, not only because it's basically a 2v5, but because both of your carries have gone now. Manic and American have both topped the leaderboards, or at least have been in the kill feed the most every single time. I've only seen them on the leaderboard itself, but Mystery is the one kind of saving grace of this team. If he can try and clutch up this round, it could be massive. The only problem is, where is this guy? Is he sitting inside of Kitchen? Is the big question. We have no idea at this point.
This is just honestly a suffocating pressure that St. Clair has right now. Worst going down to Imagine. He finds himself a double kill, but now it's Mystery as he sits behind the bar and he's looking for a pick. He puts some damage down, not finding the kill, gets pinched from the side. Nice bait and switch from St. Clair. Impact's gonna find the kill. Pepper, the last one standing. He has to clutch a 1v5 with less than 25 health left. William gonna put a little bit of damage down to his teammate. Diffuser going down by an agent. And Pepper on the Legion is gonna peek that. He goes down. Flawless round in round 11, and St. Clair take map 1 on Cafe.
It was super clean the whole entire map. Even though they went down a couple of rounds, it was still really good for them to learn from their mistakes. So we got to watch going into map number 2 if they're able to transfer this type of play style, because we saw St. Clair a couple of weeks ago play these exact same maps and dominate on both of them. Cafe as well as Clubhouse is what the second map is going to be. We'll go over that in just after the break itself. But before the break, what do you think of that match, Colin? That was huge.
Honestly, St. Clair's been showing up like that for the past 2 games that I've casted them,
Yeah,
and it doesn't look like they're slowing down. I know I got a lot to talk about Cafe,
do it,
but
bro.
honestly, St. Clair's attack and defense on or sorry, I have a lot to talk about of Clubhouse, which is coming up. But on Cafe's side, it was just St. Clair was outsmarting Rockford. You know,
Yeah,
Rockford set up that first floor attack and defense they just looked so like insanely fantastic from the
yeah.
side of Rockford. But St. Clair just went to the drawing board and they found a way to beat that out, and they came out on top.
Yeah, it was definitely really clean coming out of St. Clair. Rockford, they've got to go back to the drawing board and take a look at their bands because I think those bands were completely off. Don't think that they scouted out their opponents correctly. But we will be back with some more Saints Gaming R6 action in just a little bit, so stay tuned.
Crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. The sun was in front of me the whole time. I couldn't see. Blind, I was blinded, and I don't see once again.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some CR6 action. Of course, your talent for tonight, myself, Daniel, the Save One Mena. Joining me is Colin Seymour Moore. How are you doing, Colin?
Did I not start?
No.
I unplugged my mic while I was casting, guys.
Did I just dub over your intro? Or at least you did? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was so confused. I had that intro going, but I stepped on my...
Do your intro. Go.
No, it's okay. I stepped on my my headset wire, and I unplugged it from the jack. So that's how we start this cast off. But we're headed into Game 2 Clubhouse, and it's gonna be St. Clair with a 1-0 lead. We head into this ban phase. Already see Thatcher out of play. Rockford University has to focus on getting the right characters out this time. We already see Maverick out. I love that pick. Maverick being out on attack just leaves all option for hard breach out since Thatcher is there. You have now, if you're gonna try to hard breach anything, you have to find creative ways. Maybe a Capkin, or no, maybe a Capital, maybe a Twitch, maybe even a Zofia. But on defense, we see the Echo going out, possibly a Mira. I know sometimes some schools like to ban out Capital, which is also a smart thing to get out. But if you get Capital out of play on Clubhouse, then you have to deal with the Mira. So, wait, what?
Well, you know what? Mira not banned out, as well as Capital. They're not feeling it this time. The Clash gonna get banned.
Can I just ask when the last time somebody played Clash was?
She's been disabled for like 10 weeks now, so she's finally enabled, and I feel like that's a lie.
Well, I never expected to see a Clash come in. Did they change anything up on the Clash since she was disabled? No, they just didn't let people play her.
Yep.
All right. Well, instantly we already see St. Clair setting up for their attack. A Capital's out. Hibana, Zofia, Ash, Thermite. This has been the normal setup that St. Clair's been running. You know, maybe you want that Hibana to open up some sight lines for the Capital to get any electrification off some barricades, but I like this pick from Ash on Imagine. I know he's been fragging out a lot on that operator. I want to see what he can do on that 3-speed character. He's rocking the Tomb Raider skin as well. I haven't actually seen the Tomb Raider skin yet, so it's nice.
It's nice.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice.
There's that analysis. I get it, though.
I just got stuck on my train of thought for Tomb Raider. That's my bad, Daniel.
I was just like, I don't know. I was expecting something. Anyways, we're jumping into the round. We're going into basement. We're going into basement. What do you like about Tomb Raider, Colin?
No, I was gonna ask you what you thought about this defensive setup from Rockford, because they have Capkin again.
Yeah. Oh, this is fun. I don't know. Mystery, he played on it a lot in the last game. If you guys weren't tuning in for that, but he played very well on it. He was a very surprised type of operator, and against one, he did very well. But hey, one out comes out, and one gets just absolutely gunned down.
Yo, right away.
And the other dude is like, screw that. I'm not following up to your shenanigans. But the prone does go down into dirt, and this player just walks out. Worst scenarios is not having any of that scenario.
He just got put into the worst scenario.
Yeah?
Yeah. He just got put in literally the worst scenario he could have. He's like, I'm gonna lay down in dirt. St. Clair's like, okay.
Okay. I'm gonna run out of dirt. Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna run outside of, like, who? I've never seen a team actually do that and get destroyed right off the bat like St. Clair shut that down, but we do see St. Clair now. They have the advantage going into this basement push. And speaking of the basement push, it's also weird to see the team not choosing CCTV right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess just like their first floor hold over on Cafe, Rockford's feeling really comfortable on the basement of Clubhouse.
Whenever we watch basement on Clubhouse, shenanigans happen. It's either clutches come out or something crazy happens.
And
somebody
runs out
for
of dirt.
that point, the C4 from underneath. You saw the animation. Mystery onto William.
And that's diffuser down too.
Yep.
That's diffuser down. They should have sightlines onto that if you're Rockford University, but I honestly actually thought the Thermite blew himself up. We see Rapid pulling back onto American, kind of brings it into their advantage once again for St. Clair. It's a 3-on-4, and Rockford University, they're all on full health. You see Rapid's a little bit low, but I'm sure he can make do with the amount of health he's given. And the setup over towards the dirt seems to be the play for St. Clair, as Agent Tour picks up his Claymore. And I think he's going to push farther into dirt. The diffuser gets picked up by Rapid. He runs right across the electrified barrier, but he's just going to pick it up and drop it for somebody else to grab.
Really funny.
I like to see that. And I know you liked watching that from the down-up view.
Yeah, it was just like, whoop. That's it.
Do you know the Benny Hill song?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, if somebody can dump that over that would be nuts.
Yeti, get on it. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, now we're sitting in this situation where Mystery is getting on pretty low HP because of the fire arrow coming out. But we do have one player of St. Clair that's actually made his way onto this bomb site and takes him out. That's gonna be Agent. Double kill goes through, but the Capcan does get trapped, activated at the end of the day. Worst scenario is now a 1v3 situation. Diffuser is going to be going down. All he has to do is just hit this player on the head with a couple of one-taps going to be going through. 2v1 now going out onto the site. Diffuser has been planted. Now the post-planted positions have to be coming out. They know exactly where this enemy player is, right behind the bar, as he does escape behind the wall. Did have a hole that he could have went through. Worst scenario is full HP. It just has to get all of the lucky shots. Impact is actually down, but not out. Rapid, very low HP, 20 seconds left. What we see here, not gonna be rezzing him, or at least get him up to a certain HP. Rapid with the flick, and he gets it, the headshot. Ooh, I was talking about these bottom floor holds, and this is what I'm talking about, man, is that it gets down to the wire.
You know, I think the best case scenario for St. Clair was Zofia went down and not the Hibana, because Zofia can pick herself back up. You didn't even see Rapid break a sweat because he knew that. He didn't move from his position. He just held where he was. But honestly, St. Clair, it was a little bit shaky, but honestly, that was probably the most chaotic round. I can't say that because we both know that that's not true. It's definitely not the most chaotic basement hold that we've seen, but
no, we've seen 1v4s.
We've seen 1v4 after 1v4 after 1v4 on the same hold. But now we head over to the second floor CCTV room, cash room, the more meta hold for Clubhouse. I thought we'd see a Wamai coming out, but we see the better Wamai come out, and that's Jaeger.
Yeah. Wamai can sometimes do some things better than Jaeger, but usually when you do see a Wamai over a Jaeger, it's because Jaeger's being played by another player. So we're not going to be seeing that double hold here today, but we do see, once again, the Jaeger coming out, which is really good for this squad. Just a lot of grenade stoppage potential from this operator.
He said it, not me.
Grenade style. Oh, I didn't mean it. Guys, don't cringe at me, please. But anyways, we head into round number 2 as all of the ADS is going at, as well as the reinforcements onto these walls.
I love that you said that. That was amazing. It's just a little bit of throwback. If anybody's been watching for a while, but now we see St. Clair. They have the exact same operator composition that they had last time. We're just gonna run through what to expect from it. Rapid is going to use his X-Kairos to open up the garage for the Capitao to shoot a flame arrow through, destroy any electrification over onto the east side balcony. Then we're going to see William open it up with his thermite charge. Zofia with her lifeline is probably going to back up Imagine, who's roaming around on the bottom. And St. Clair is going to suffocate this Rockford University defense, unless they can pop off on the Capkin and the Vigil and their whole setup.
Yeah, Rockford University wants to defend that, so they're going to try and do that in this round with 2 minutes remaining. They do have the roamer out of Vigil, but does get taken out. Is going to be Manic to start off the round. As Manic is usually that type of player to be roaming, as well as getting a lot of initial frags in the round, but they're kind of putting that pressure down onto Mystery as well as American, playing the Vigil here. But inside of Garage is a perfect hold so far coming through for Rockford. They're playing it very passive, as well as St. Clair. They're getting their own situations ready. As I really loved your analysis of
of this whole thing, because that's exactly what they're setting up for. And
exactly. The Habana into the Capitao with William waiting. That's everything you said is exactly happening right now.
And it's just the simple setup that St. Clair is going to be running, but it works. As you see Impact and Imagine working the first floor, kind of that bottom up view, trying to make sure that nobody is going to defend against this. Imagine is actually looking right now for the K charges so that they don't have to burn any Capitao utility, but he's actually going to use Impact grenade on the Zofia lifeline. Is going to take out the Cade charge. The Capitao is going to go in there to try to deny anything, but it doesn't. The Cade from a distance throws in the Cade charge, destroys the thermite, but on the other side, Imagine going to pick up another kill over on a Mystery. Capkin's down, and that's an entry frag from Rapid to bring it into a 5v1. They're absolutely suffocating this hold from Rockford University. We see the thermite just bust through. Flawless round for St. Clair. Ties it up, or actually takes the lead even farther, 2-0.
When you usually play the Vigil, you're usually roaming. You're not sitting on the site, and that's not what this what American did there. I don't know. It wasn't the pick, I think, for him. He could have chosen a couple of better operators. But hey, if you're comfortable on a pick, then sometimes it's really good that you go for
it. The only thing that I could have seen change up for the side of Rockford University is maybe run a dock inside Garage, use the Vigil to kind of push out any roam presence on the first floor to kind of keep them a little bit less rate up and personal, able to destroy those K charges. But honestly, I think really right now what Rockford University was struggling with on that CCTV hold for Exact is just their operator picks. Yeah. I think if they ran through a couple little compositions and they really kind of narrowed it down onto the meta, it would be a lot easier to hold some of these sites and not so chaotic on their defense. But we're going to be heading back into the basement hold, and I'm curious, Daniel, to see what you want to see change up for this.
Well, I think just to quickly touch on something before I head into that is that the main thing that I'm thinking about is Capcan's play style, right? You have to walk through a door and then not see the tripwire in order for him to be fairly useful. But the only thing is that the whole entire Rockford lineup was dead before St. Clair even entered the building. So
facts.
Right? So the Capcan is just not useful, which I support your point of they have to learn the meta. But now what I want to see out of Rockford is just a better hold. Don't run through dirt and just rush out. That's not what we want to see here. Try and hold certain angles that you usually see in pro play, and I don't think oil is one of them, but Boiler Room is a huge one. Memorial room is another massive one. Dirt hallway is great.
Wait,
but not the actual dirt, like the initial room of it, right?
we are on to the attack side, and there is no reinforcement onto dirt. So St. Clair basically has a free, like, they don't have to burn any hard breach to get inside of dirt.
Yeah,
I mean, they're still looking, they're looking to still take control of kitchen, but if St. Clair wanted to set up for that quick rotate through dirt, they have absolute means to without burning any utility.
They also don't have any electrocution.
Oh.
Rockford doesn't. They 6-picked the Cade onto Maestro.
Which I do like the pick onto Maestro. He's just, usually you don't see Maestro playing in that situation. And this really comes down to the knowledge of the operators that Rockford University is holding on to. If I was St. Clair, I would really capitalize because I think Rockford's made a grave mistake.
Yeah.
There is a player roaming at VIP. I just saw that. There's a player in VIP roaming on the second floor, or on, I guess, first floor. But
we've come a long way, Colin, from not being able to analyze any team comps to talking about them for a solid 3 minutes. So we've got this. But now here in the round itself, what were you saying? Who's roaming?
Rockford has a player in VIP on the first floor roaming around, so I'm curious to see how he manages. That's going to be American on the Vigil.
Yeah.
You were talking about this last round. The Vigil is more of a roaming operator. He does find one drone, so it's a little bit less information towards St. Clair, but nobody's using drones right now for St. Clair. They're all going to be pressuring over towards kitchen and dirt. So now it's on to the Vigil to kind of notice this information. The amount of space that he is taking right now is huge if you're Rockford University, because you're narrowing them down over towards the kitchen and towards dirt. So once Vigil notices that the hatch is still not being pressured, he finds one actually that's going to be rapid going down. So opening pick 2 from the roamer is going to add all that much pressure as there's only 35 seconds left. He rotates around, he finds another. That's William going down. Finally traded after the double kill. 3v4. Diffuser's picked up. 27 seconds left and St. Clair has no pressure on the site. So this is absolutely insane because of the lack of delay that Rockford has, but St. Clair's still down to 14 seconds left. They're burning some Capital utility to get inside. Ash opens up with their breaching walls into Arsenal room. And now it's up to St. Clair to just push in and use their guns. 1 second left. They're finally down. Diffuser's getting dropped. 2v3. Imagine finds one. Impact finds another. 2v2. He looks. He finds the player prone, but not going to connect with the kill. Diffuser does get dropped. Imagine gets pinched in a 2v1. And Rockford University, with the least amount of delay I've seen on basement, comes out with the W.
I would have been going insane if somehow St. Clair were able to win that round. They were this close too. I'm pinching my fingers together. You guys can't see it, but they're this close. And yeah, that was insane. It has my heart racing every single time St. Clair do something like that. But basement is always that type of hold where you have no idea what you're going to expect. And it all started with Rockford getting the pick from Vigil onto Habana. That was so good, right? The one thing that we needed to see switched up is that American had to roam with the Vigil effectively, and he definitely did that. He grabbed a double kill for him.
Well, am I going to be 6-picked again? This time over to the Mira. As we do see St. Clair now attacking the second floor gym, second floor bedroom, and I'm taking a look at this composition for defense, and I'm going to take a second to critique it a little bit. They don't have a castle. That is almost you need a castle if you're going to hold second floor gym, second floor bedroom, because the amount of pressure now St. Clair can put onto west side balcony, open it up through the hard breach. They don't even need as much soft breach to break through. They're still going to have the operators to give that soft breach. They have an Ash, a Zofia, and they can even just Ash and Zofia.
Ash and Zofia.
But just even that much soft reach is going to get them in throughout the point. So now it all comes down to, I guess, Rockford playing like you've said, comfortable operators, and it comes down to their gun skill.
See the mute coming through, which is nothing unusual. the Mira coming through, I don't know where she's going to sit, and I'm really excited to see where she does, because Mira has been an operator that we have talked about literally every single week, and we have asked the exact same question. Why is she picked? Or why is she banned out so much when they don't pick her, like, kind of at all? So, I don't know. Now she's finally going to get picked. Puts out a mirror inside the bathroom towards western balcony. It could be very useful if they end up getting through western and they don't know that Mira is inside it. It's a very niche scenario, Colin.
No, I just read chat. I just read chat.
I thought you were laughing at my joke. But
no, sorry. Somebody said got any ranch, and that's probably the weirdest thing I've seen in Rainbow Six chat. All chat. My bad, Daniel.
No, you're good. You're good. But the castle, to support your point, would have really helped with the Mira. Imagine a Mira castle where you can't enter through certain doors because you don't have the pressure to get through them, and you're faced with a Mira wall. It's never fun.
Mystery Dude, like you've said, has been popping off with the Capcan. He's 2-2-2 right now.
Yes,
and
sir.
He's up there for his team. He's doing a lot right now. So I understand that he's comfortable on the Capcan. As you see Pepper getting the first pick onto Imagine, he's comfortable onto Capcan, but the amount of pressure that St. Clair can put on because of the Capcan being in play is going to ultimately, I think, come out to bite Rockford, unless we see operators like Pepper coming out and finding picks like that. So we see Rockford University with the advantage in this round. Imagine going down on the Ash, and that's going to be a heavy hit that St. Clair's going to take. An important kill if you're Rockford, and if anything is going to give them a direct advantage into this game, it's going to be definitely a pick on to Imagine. The first Capcan charge does get spotted out by Rapid, so it's going to take it out, and they're going for that CCTV room, kind of rotate around. They weren't successful in opening in the west side balcony, and Rockford University, with this questionable setup, in my opinion, is actually proving me wrong in so many different ways.
Yeah, I've never seen this type of push to actually go through, but they have no idea that American is up here as he does peek his head and isn't able to get the kill. What? As well, more coming through. William pushes a little bit into this room as he takes out 2 members inside of it, and now is finally when the kills are going back and forth. Mystery finding his first kill ever in the match on a Capcan drone. 1v2 scenario going down. Worst scenario versus 2 of St. Clair. They peek the stairs, main stairs, and they take him out. Impact finishing off the round.
Honestly, American sitting up top there as Vigil gave me R6 Invitational Grand Final vibes there, as we saw, I think, Bosco running that same play up there. I don't know if he was on the Vigil. He might have been, but that was absolutely big brain, and it could have been a heavy hit onto St. Clair if he connected with the shots. He whiffed a few shots. St. Clair came out. He peeked wide, and St. Clair came out on top in that. And ultimately, that's where it came down to the gun skill. It didn't come down to any gadgets. It didn't come down to nothing. Just St. Clair outclassed them with their guns.
I have never seen a construction push into logistics. That blew. I didn't even know that wall led into logistics. My mind was absolutely blown. I thought it was, honestly, I'm going to sound like a complete noob. I thought that wall led to the outside. So I was like, why do they want to go outside? And then boom, we're in logistics. And my mind was blown.
Now, your mind being blown. Let's see if it can get blown one more time as we head back.
Thank you,
into the second floor gym, second floor bedroom. What did Yeti do?
He's he's observing. He's showing me the wall that leads into logistics. Oh, it's funny.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Yeah, now we head into this new round number 5.
I don't even know what just happened. I'm sorry.
I'll explain to you after. Don't worry. 3-1 in round number 5. Still, a gym bedroom hold coming through here for Rockford. So they were very confident in their play leading up to the complete domination of St. Clair. But I feel like they can learn from their mistakes. We've seen it on multiple occasions where a team will lose initially on a site, and then they'll learn from their mistakes and completely dominate. And this could be Rockford's chance to do so.
This time, they have a dock, which
Could always happen.
Did they have a dock last time too?
Maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't.
I don't think they had a dock last
No,
time.
they had a Mira. They had a Mira.
Yeah, they had a Mira. So this time they have a dock, and that might be able to add a little bit more of an advantage to Rockford, because that MP5 with ACOG does a lot of damage. And Manic was a top. I think he was the top fragger last map on Cafe. Is he could put that MP5 ACOG to work. Now, with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left, I expect to see St. Clair try to go for that west side balcony push, but they are setting up for CCTV room as they're already inside CCTV room. And they do have logistics office open, the hatch, and that's where we do see the Vigil American sitting once more. But St. Clair going for this construction push just like last time. We do see worst scenario roaming around on the first floor. This could be dangerous if he can get that flank out. Last time the flank only led to him being the last player standing for his team. And St. Clair looking to absolutely suffocate from CCTV room. But this flank from Manic could be everything. If he pushes up Secret with worst scenarios, they're going to push through metal staircase. Imagine opening up with a kill onto Mystery. This is when the flank has to start putting the wheels on and start putting the pressure on. American now, he's going to make sure that the drones can't see him, and the drones do spot out because they're notified that the Vigil is there. St. Clair should still know that he's in the same spot. Worst scenario, going to catch this player for St. Clair off on rotation. Imagine finding a double kill over onto Pepper. 5 on 3, 55 seconds left. American still yet to find anything from his position. Worst scenario, he is on the flank. That is insane. Insane control for him. He spots out the information and Manic finds the double kill. And they don't even know worst scenario is there. That is the absolute most insane trigger discipline I've ever seen from a player in Rainbow Six. That leads to a double kill for his teammate. William gonna take some damage, puts some pistol shots through. Diffuser's down. Rockford University up 3-1. It's all up to Rapid with 23 seconds left. He pushes into cash, finds the first kill, 1v2. He does know that there should be another player in there. He's looking in, finds a player from behind, 1v1. It's Rapid against American. American finds the pressure, but Rockford coming out on top in the 1v1, all off of the back of the trigger discipline from Worst. That was the most insane play I've seen in Rainbow Six.
It freaked me out because the only thing going on in my mind is shoot, go, do it. No, he wanted to try and hide himself inside of CCTV or inside of construction just to try and hold that position a little bit more and allow his teammate to absolutely pop off. And that's exactly what happened. So, oh my goodness, this is eventful, much more eventful than a Cafe gone. If you ask me.
He turned the worst scenario into a selfless scenario.
Stop.
And he brought his team back a little bit more.
Oh,
that was insane though. You know, at first I thought shoot too, but I saw that Manic was flanking with him, and as soon as I saw Manic go in there, that was probably the most information that I've ever seen a flanker get or his teammate to get. Without using like any sort of camera work or drone work. So props to Rockford University for that absolutely insane play. Kind of makes up for their operator choices, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, but now with a bottom floor hold, they've got different options here with their operators. They're keeping the Vigil as well as the Capcan. They love the Legion for some reason, as well as the Kate. And I love Legion as well because you put a bunch of Legion mines inside of dirt, and it's a beautiful scenario. But now the Pulse coming. This is a new one. On a basement hold, we've touched on this in the past. On a basement hold, Pulse does really well.
Yeah. Pulse does.
Sorry, that was weird.
Pulse does do it too. I thought you were gonna analyze a little bit more. I liked how you were touching on the pulse because I was gonna touch on the pulse a little bit too.
I got you.
We do see pulse. He runs around like through kitchen with his heart detector or cardiac sensor, looking up, making sure anybody, hey, you're gonna put down any hard breach, I'm gonna see for you. So now it's all on the timing of Manic. He absolutely has been popping off in the past 2 games, along with his teammate Worst. So I'm curious to see how well he can put this pulse to the test. So
the main thing I'm thinking about on how to use the pulse is right here, inside of this room. Can't remember what it's called, but you look up into the kitchen hatch and you use your cardiac sensor to sense if there is anyone like a thermite, like a Habana, looking at this hatch just to see if you can pick off anybody. It was done onto William very early on in earlier in the game, but we haven't seen it any other time other than that. But so far, no picks going down. A little bit of damage though, as Pulse does actually take some damage. He is still sitting inside, like just right below kitchen. Gotta watch out for this.
And now the setup for St. Clair on attack. They're gonna open up kitchen.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot
Arsenal. I found out what the room is called. Arsenal.
They're gonna set up in kitchen to push Arsenal.
Yeah.
And they're gonna kind of slowly back off and allow the nerves of Rockford to set in. But Manic, with the cardiac sensor, does spot 1. He actually spots 2, but I don't think he was aware that he spotted the second player.
Yeah.
And now with the cardiac sensor, he does spot 2. He spots 3! So a lot of information going towards the pulse, but if you're St. Clair, you spot a couple toes on William. And Manic burns his nitro cell without catching anything. We do see now St. Clair all on full health. Gonna burn a little bit more, and they're really focused on this kitchen push. Curious to see where Imagine pushes in, because he's the only player away from this kitchen push. The smoke comes out, Imagine finds 1, William finds 1. Dropping in is William, but he's gonna go down with Diffuser. So he put a little bit of damage in, but worst scenarios, finds a double kill onto Agent and William. The push from Blue Stairs is gonna take down Pepper, that's Imagine. And Manic, with the cardiac sensors, he's still going to get some information. He's still sitting inside Arsenal, finds the defuse planner. Manic going to take out Impact. So 2v2, 11 seconds left. Manic going to go down. Rapid with control of the site. Imagine on a triple kill. And the worst scenarios with that shotgun. He is going to down Imagine, but Rapid with the diffuser plan. Is going to set up for a post-plant position. I don't think they are aware of this player inside Boiler, but that's one way to find out. Rapid noticing the sound, flicking over, connecting with the shot, clutching up for St. Clair, taking them to a little bit higher of an advantage after this.
Clean. That's clean. That was very clean. Rapid. He knew exactly where to plant on the site, and it's a big thing to adjust positioning of your planting when you've been caught out in one area. Usually the default for Arsenal room is right underneath kitchen, but he ended up going right beside dirt, to the left of dirt if you're attacking. And it was very, very effective. You were allowed to plant it and then look for your post plant, which was inside a boiler. So definitely really good, as well as communication coming through for Imagine. A lot of players might try and pick up your buddy when you're in that scenario, but he had to keep his sights on some of these doors.
Whoa!
This is weird. Jackal coming through is usually a pick on Clubhouse, and it's also usually a ban on Clubhouse. But it being available here means that there's a lot of intel potential that can come through for Rockford.
It's been a long time since I've seen a Jackal on the board.
Me too.
But now American is going to put the operator to the test. St. Clair, just like mirrored from last map, at the half are up 4-2 against Rockford University. And this prep base for St. Clair looks like they're going to hold it on tight. I like this setup from Agent on the Maestro. He does it every single round. He breaks the shelves and he sets off over towards the hallway just to get that spot down through the wall. It's absolutely overpowered and absolutely insane. But you know, you guys have been here before. You guys seen St. Clair, Saints Nation. You know how they run it. I want to see this push from Rockford. They have a Lion, a Jackal, a Zofia, a Thermite, and a Capitao, along with probably the cheekiest clubhouse Valcam I've seen over towards Dirt. Nobody on Rockford University is pushing through to Dirt, so it's a lot of information for Rapid to get as he just reinforces the wall back up. I think he is going to make a kind of like the same thing that Rockford tried to do first round, but Rapid was going to do it and try to succeed.
Yeah.
But instead, we see Imagine. He's going to open up on the Vigil for the first pick. On to Mystery. So no more line calls if you're Rockford University, and a lot less pressure to add to the St. Clair setup.
The King of the Jungle has gone down. His line is out of play, but now we get to see the Jackal himself spot out an enemy player. He spots out actually the roamer of the team, and Imagine with the double kill is finally starting to succeed as being the roamer. Has sometimes not worked out in his favor, but now looking inside of construction, which was the last place that Imagine actually was. I'm gonna spot him out as he's at least in bedroom. I don't know if he's in gym itself, but now a bunch of intel being spotted out inside of boiler room. They know that there are a couple of players inside of oil as well. At least they hear it. They got to spot it out. Worst scenario, slowly sneaking over towards it in the Jaeger player, which was William, takes him out. But now one more inside of oil. This is not good, as William didn't take any HP for that. He stood it and didn't take any damage. Imagine does get taken out in the process though, but it's still fine because he did end up taking 2 kills for himself. Could have been the flick, but doesn't get it off. Minute 13 hits the clock, as now it's a 3v2 scenario.
Manic taking out William is an important kill to take over boiler room. We do see the Capitao put down some smoke to allow the diffuser to get pushed in and planted, but the player sitting in towards Church is going to get the kill. It's going to be Rapid taking out Manic, bringing it into a 3v1. Pepper on the Zofia, the last player standing, has 50 seconds to work with, but not a comfortable situation if you are the player. He does have both utilities still in play for the lifeline, hasn't burned anything yet, but the stats, he's 2 and 6. And he has 3 players to kind of battle against. He burns one of his impact grenades over on the ADS of the Jaeger. So even in death, William putting a stop to this push from Rockford University. 20 seconds left, and he's finally pushing in. Puts some shots over to where Rapid was standing prior to that, but Rapid pushes in and finds the kill onto Pepper. St. Clair 5-2 now on Clubhouse. And looking for a repeat.
They're playing a very dominant game here on Clubhouse as well. Like you said, they're looking for the repeat of wins, as they already ended up winning on Cafe, but here they had a very nice defensive round, and I feel like this is really where St. Clair shines on defense, where all of their little strats come out and they pull out some unexpected stuff. Like we saw Imagine roam up to the second floor where he ended up getting a double kill, right? That was enough. If he could grab a triple, that's round. But at the end of the day, double kill is just so good. But now he's moving on to the dock. Usually when I see a dock on Clubhouse, he's looking for a spawn, but I'm not too sure.
And if you know Imagine, he's not afraid to go for those spawn peaks.
Loves it.
He thrives in those situations. He loves to go for the spawn peaks and put the other team in the panic. So now we do see a Dokkaebi. I know you're happy to see the Dokkaebi come out over on the side of Rockford University, but Rockford University hasn't. They played Dokkaebi last time when they were pushing first floor kitchen on Cafe, and it didn't really lead to anything. So this time I want to see Rockford University kind of use a little bit more of the utility, because pushing into the last kind of area, the Zofia still had all her utility left on her lifeline. That just shows that Rockford University, they're just trying out their guns and not trying out anything else. I would like to see them change up on some of that. But
yeah, usually when you're in a situation like this, it's really good that you put your dock inside of garage. Just keep them on the top here, just for that extra potential of healing yourself if you do get spotted out up here. But other than that, the rest of the team of St. Clair, they're playing a very interesting match. I like how they put William onto the castle. I love how Impact's going onto Cade, and the one thing I was also analyzing is that Agent Tour is on the smoke, but Rapid is not. And the main reason why is because I guess that Agent Tour just can't play Jaeger as well as Rapid can. And Agent Tour is allowed to play the smoke. Not as good as Rapid, but definitely to a certain ceiling, a skill ceiling. But other than that, that's the analyzation of St. Clair. They're playing a really good game so far, but all they have to do is be very swift on CCTV as well as Cash.
My favorite takeaway from this defense of St. Clair is they, instead of electrifying balcony, they electrified garage, which it forced Rockford to kind of narrow themselves in towards that balcony, and now you already see the Zofia and the Thermite set up there. So having garage electrified is going to put less pressure onto Imagine, who's sitting there on the dock. I'm sure that's Imagine. It might be Impact. No, it's Imagine. We're on him right now. And so it's going to put less pressure onto Imagine, and he's going to be able to look into the site from garage, and like we see right now. And now it's up to St. Clair. They do have a couple players flanking in through logistics, but first pick going towards Imagine over inside garage as somebody tried to push through in the doorway, and Imagine just finding him instantly. No sweat broken onto Imagine, but Pepper, he's going to trade right back, making a 4-on-4 impact going down. Imagine finding his second kill in the round onto Mystery, pulling St. Clair back into the lead, the advantage. And St. Clair's at the moment looking for map point. Rockford University, they want everything but that. They're going to use one line call, and they actually do ping out a player over onto Metal Stairs. Maniac Manic going to put some shots down over towards, but not finding any damage. He's actually going to be taken down to less than 25, maybe 10 health to him. Along with Pepper, who's very low, just below 50% health. But it's up to American to start making the plays, as he is the only player on Rockford University to have full health. 30 seconds left, and it's a 4-on-3. Imagine stimmed himself up past 100 health, juiced to 150, and the head of Agent was spotted. One gas canister, two gas canisters have been burned, but William on the castle gonna find the kill, make it a 4v2, taking out Manic. Big kill if you're St. Clair. The last gas canister used for Agent Tour. Just gonna delay that player over on the balcony. William finding another kill, double kill. And defenders St. Clair gonna win that with ease as Imagine finds the final kill, the triple kill.
Yeah, I didn't know how much this opening onto CCTV was just not gonna matter whatsoever, because it really didn't. They opened up the actual, they opened up CCTV themselves, and they just weren't able to push into the room because there was just so much coverage around CCTV. Was the dock inside of garage that needed to be taken out, and it's really hard to take out. Imagine there was players scattered out all throughout the floor, and it was just so hard to push in as well. The smoke coming through just to delay the person or the operator on East Balcony was massive. But a beautiful hold that came through from St. Clair is really allowing them to have the synergy in order to finish off this round. Basically running the exact same comp, except for Imagine not running the dock.
And the Legion.
Yeah.
The Legion on Rap is a little bit different too, but there
Monty.
we see Manic not going for one shield, but going for the other shield. He doesn't want to play Blitz. He wants Monte. He wants that Magnum in his back pocket. But I really like how St. Clair, how passive they played, and how much, because I think a lot of players, when they see smoke, they think of the SMG-11. They think about the frag potential that it can have with the shotgun paired up with it. But a lot of players who focus on the delay that smoke can cause it's really talented to see how much delay that gas can put off. For example, what he did to the player sitting on balcony just rendered him useless. He couldn't push through. He would take too much damage, and then Imagine ended up cleaning up with his pistol anyways. So it's really cool to see how St. Clair opted to, instead of going for the frag power that Smoke has, they opted to pull out the delay power that he has. So it's really a two-sided operator that you can play on defense.
I don't know how you feel about this, but whenever you play a shield operator, I don't know why I feel so useless. I feel like I'm just like, all right, my team doesn't trust in me. I'll go on a shield operator, fine. I don't know if he stepped up to the plate in order to play it, Or if his team was like Manic, just go on Monty, please.
I've actually never played a shield. If I'm gonna be honest. I've never. I hit level 150 on console.
Yeah.
And I never played a shield. I played a ton of R6. I got to Diamond, but I never played a shield. And I think I don't know how players can play this. It really takes a lot of patience.
Yeah.
If you're the shield player, but it's not something I was meant to do. So it's really cool to see how players can kind of work around that.
Last season, I got placed silver and went down to copper. So I guess that's what that tells you. But at least here in this round, we have to see how this Monty is used in the round itself. So far, he hasn't entered the building. Scaling up the building, I don't think I've ever seen a shield go onto a roof. But hey, it's first all over the place, dude.
It's first time for everything.
Exactly.
St. Clair, they have this set up onto gym and bedroom. Absolutely perfect. They have the castle to make it a little bit harder for Rockford to get in there, and Rockford's putting all their eggs into one basket. They have 4 players sitting right outside of bedroom, right outside of gym, and if Imagine can hear this and hear the footsteps of each player, that'd be absolutely insane. First up is Manic on that Monty. He's gonna be just putting his shield into the window, allowing other players to peek over him. But Rapid on the flank is gonna actually find Mystery, so that's a Lion. He uses one E, one D, but not gonna find anything with it. William following up with a second kill. St. Clair with the advantage. Imagine on the run out is gonna find one. Imagine looking for the second one. He finds it. Imagine double kill. St. Clair flawless round, and they're gonna take it. Just like that, 7-2 against Rockford University, a 2-0 win in CR6 once again. And St. Clair just climbing the ladder in this matchup. Daniel, how did you feel about that?
Nasty from what we see. Oh my goodness. Yo, American being toxic in all chat saying, see, this is why we're looking for recruits.
Imagine even says that's toxic.
That's toxic. I agree. Oh man, I love it. But so many different possibilities came out here in this round. What I loved is that Rapid didn't perform on Cafe, but really showed up on Clubhouse. There's definitely something to note in this match. But throughout that whole entire thing, what did I think about it, man? We're seeing a different type of St. Clair very late into the season, and I love it because of the amount of team play that they have. The comms are just so clear for them, or at least from what we see, just because earlier in the semester, the number one thing is that there was just no comms from any of these new players, but I feel like they're finally stepping up. They know exactly how to call certain things out, and it's really helping Imagine and Rapid in a lot of these situations.
St. Clair, you put it excellently. I couldn't have said it better myself. St. Clair just doing what St. Clair's been doing best these days. They're now, since I've started casting remotely, they're now 3-0 in CR6, and they are 2-0 in Phase 2. They're just absolutely showing up there. In the past 3 games of CR6, they are 6-0 in map count, and they are not looking to slow down. They are absolutely tearing through the competition. Right now, they're standing at 13th place. Curious to see where this win takes them. But on the side, from ourselves, it's been a blast casting for you guys, and I hope you guys on the other side have enjoyed yourselves. But it has been myself, Colin Seymour Moore, and Daniel the Saved One Mana, and we are going to see you all later with some more Saints Gaming action. If you follow us on Twitter, the announcements will be there for when the casting will be on. So just pay attention to that, and you'll see us later. So have a good night, everyone.
Once again, blind, I was blinded, and I don't see. Once again. time I couldn't see. Blind, I was blinded, and I don't see once Inside lane, missing exits.